Hey, everybody, welcome to Pocket Change. We probably should do that in the beginning. This is episode 98. Probably need to get somebody. You
Lined
need some
up for
interviews?
99. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it'd be great. We're actually going to have to do some numbering weird crap because we
It
got
doesn't
off on
matter.
the picker pass, but maybe we'll flip to 100, episode 100. Maybe you can get us a whole gang on here. Mike, we might need your help, although we'll be recording probably
I
from this
got
is
people that
out.
want to come on, but it won't be. The problem is,
It's the
it won't be
holidays.
live.
Maybe we need to do a pocket change reselling special edition.
There you go.
Special edition, and we'll do a live. We'll plan a live to go on live.
I'm going to text Mike and say, hey, you want to do pick or pass with us for 99?
Oh, that'd be
And
cool.
if I don't know we can get Mike anymore, he was on Trash to Cash this week, which
Uh,
is the number one podcast. But
Whoa.
instead of 10 followers, they have 10,000. He's big time now.
He's big time now.
They do. Mike will never be
Hey,
big time.
hey,
He'll
we.
always be big time to me, but he'll never do that.
If that's the case, then that's what the 19 that's listening to us and the 4,044 that are with us on Spotify should definitely email us if they want to launch, because that means we're launchers. We actually
Yes.
help you get started.
Yeah.
You could come practice on ours.
Yeah. We're not even the B league in like baseball. We're like triple D or something
We're
like that.
not. We're like double A. That's what we are.
Yeah,
Double
we're
A.
double A.
Little League.
We're little league. No, we're T-ball, man. We are T-ball. But you know what? We're having fun.
We
And I've been
are.
watching this other podcast. I can't think of the name of it. They got 17 subscribers. Those guys are having a good time.
There's
So
nothing wrong with that. And
I agree.
I do hope that you all that are listening to us on Spotify and iTunes and those that are actually watching us here on YouTube are actually getting something out of it, because if you're not, then just keep laughing at us. We'll keep on doing this.
Hey, man, I'm having fun, so that's all that matters.
But we do have a good show lined up as always for you. We're glad each and every one of you are here with us, at least for the next waste of your hour of your life. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Hopefully, again, you do get something out of it. Before we get started, I have got to get something off my chest. I'm going to try to tie it into some of our other stuff here. Generally speaking, you guys know we like to keep everything positive. We don't like any negativity. So I'm going to go ahead and get the negative out right away here at the beginning. A lot of guys have told, and I've watched a lot of podcasts, Ben's has too, and there's a lot of people out there who say, don't deal with zeros, don't deal with people, and we've mentioned it before, don't deal with people under 10. And I've got this guy right now. He purchased yesterday on a Saturday. I understand and know he's not pushing for time because it's the holidays, but he made me an offer. This is one of the items I had thrown out just testing for free shipping that I tried to get removed, because I did free shipping and I did 1 day on Cyber Monday. And that was my thing. I went back and tried to edit all that stuff, did a bulk edit to get rid of it, this, that, and other. And apparently eBay is not effective that way. I will never do this again. I'm going to set my stuff and be done with it, because unless I want to do just specific items, because eBay managed to basically screw me on one item, because it did not change back. Even though I did bulk item, it did not change back to the 3 day, but he bought it on Saturday, so I got to get it out by Monday. And then it did not get rid of the free shipping on this particular item. So great. But that's fine. It's okay. I'll take the loss on it. Except this guy is a zero, and he is asking, I'm not going to purchase. You've already paid for it, buddy.
Yeah.
You will have to go in and cancel and do a refund if you're not going to purchase. But he's sitting there going, wait a minute, is this item such and such model? And I'm like, it's new in the box. On the box, it says yada yada. It says the exact item he's asking. And so I've responded. He's doing all these, making all these. I'm not going to purchase if you don't open it up and give me the direction, get the direction sheet out of it, and open up the direction sheet and take pictures of that. And I'm like, here's what I always say: buy with confidence. The actual item picture, the item shown is what you'll receive. I got this from Ben's. we perfected this, or he did it, and then I copied it and worded it a little different, but it's basically the same thing Ben's has on his. Please carefully check photos using the zoom feature for accurate condition details. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And I guess now I'm faulting him for asking, but I responded with that, I copied that, and I said, take pictures of the exact item, and I sell the exact item. I do not use other pictures or substitute items. This is in box exactly as it is pictured. And I'm like, look, if you want to cancel by noon Eastern Standard Time, because I don't want to have to ship it and then he's canceled it. I'm not going to cancel it or let him cancel it once he shipped it. I will keep the money. But if he wants to go ahead and cancel, it's fine. But I'm not going to go over there and rip open the box and unfold all the directions and get it all messed up just so this guy can satisfy his fancy. I'm not going to do that. And I've never had this before with anybody, and maybe it's not because he's a zero, maybe it's just how people are. But it just seems to me like this guy being a zero and he's not got any other feedback. He's not apparently not bought anything else on eBay, sold anything. And I'm just going, dude, it is what it is. It's exactly what you said you want. Buy it or don't buy it. If he doesn't buy it, I'm definitely fixing the ad. But what upsets me is two things. One, eBay didn't correct the.
But did he buy it already? He already paid for it.
He's already
Right?
paid for it. I'm bound by contract through eBay to ship it to him. But he's going back and forth of I'm not going to purchase. You have already, and I don't think he understands. He's already purchased it. The money's already been charged his account, and I'm going. Is this just going to be bad feedback? And maybe I should just.
I would cancel it.
I
I
mean,
would cancel it. Customer asked to cancel,
okay. I'm sitting there going. Maybe that's what to do.
and then I just block him.
That's probably what I need to do. I'd love to sell the item. I don't mind. I'll take the $4 or $5 hit on shipping, but if it's going to be just end up being bad feedback because he doesn't know, I'd rather not deal with it. But anyway, that's my negative. I didn't want to get. We don't like to get negative, but I'm just warning you guys. I'm starting to get some bad experience from some people who are, and it just feels a little shady. And I think we need to step back and go, wait a minute, guys. If it feels a little shady, and that's why I was getting confirmation from Ben's here, if it feels a little off to you, the sale feels a little off, it's better to not do it, honestly. I think Ben's would say that with his guy from Puerto Rico. If he could go back, it probably felt a little off. The guy had bought from him before, but now he's pushing, doing all this stuff, and he messaged him, says, hey, can you get it here now? I'm pretty sure Ben's would have gone back and said, you know what, just forget it, dude. Am I right, Ben's?
Yeah, yeah. So and you know what? I had something similar happen to me this week.
Let's talk
I
about it.
sold a Starbucks 2012 Christmas Fox mug. The tail of the fox is the handle, and the person bought it, and then that like before I even saw the order, before I saw the order, sent me a note and said, "Hey, I just realized I already have this one. Can I go ahead and cancel it?" And I'm like, "Okay, that's fine. I'll cancel it. It's fine. I don't care." So I went in. So it was like 4 hours later because I'm not looking at my app every 30 seconds. So then I canceled it, sent them a note, and said, "Hey, man, I understand. I collect things too. Sometimes I end up with duplicates. You don't need a duplicate. No reason to send you the mug." So they sent me back a note that said, "Wow, you can cancel it?" Because I called eBay and they said no. There was no, that it was a binding contract that I couldn't cancel it and I had to get them up. And I said, and my reply was like, "I'd rather have a happy customer than an unhappy customer, and I do free returns. You could have sent it back to me. I would have had to pay the shipping to send it back. So why would I sell you an $8 mug that costs $8 to ship and then have to spend $8 to get it back?"
Right.
So, and then they were like, "Wow, you're really good." So my feedback of the week is them. Great seller, understanding, quick response, fair and honest. Thank you so much. I will purchase when you have something new that I don't have.
See, that's awesome. That is,
So I made a customer out of that person instead
yeah,
of saying, "You know what? F you. You paid for it." Because I didn't know. I don't. Once, like that guy, you can ship him his thing. And there's nothing he can do except for return it to you. You don't have free returns, so you'd have to pay the return shipping, so
right.
you'd probably be stuck with it. But especially if you're doing free returns, you want to understand if they ask to cancel something, just cancel it. Yes, okay, I'm out the $8 that I would have made. But
Somebody else will buy it. That's what my
exactly.
thoughts are. It's already bagged up. It is
Yeah.
sitting. If you see right here the sheet, that is my scale. It is
Hmm.
already bagged up. I already got it bagged up, ready to go. I don't have it sealed yet because I got to print, but I took my weight to start doing my shipping. I already got it set on my scale, everything right there. But I can unbag it, put the bag back up because it's not done yet, pull the item back out, no problem. And that's what I'm probably, I think you're right. I think that's the best thing to do in this scenario. Just about, dude, you got too many questions about it. I think the best thing is we'll just cancel the order, you get your money back. It's not shipped, so you can have it all back. Because my rule of thumb
Yeah.
too is if I've already shipped it, he just sent me a message. Let's see what he says. Let's see what he says. Let's see. Please ship. I was able to see the model number on one of your photos. Oh, I'm sorry, folks.
So that, hey, pay attention, people. We'll be back talking about this again on in a week when the guy says, "Oh, I didn't get it. Got here a day late," and I opened it up and it was moldy, mildewy, or something like that. So another problem I had this week was that Bonanza order. Remember last week
Yeah,
where I was
yeah.
like, check the Bonanza, and I was only 3 days late shipping it. Actually, you have 10 days on Bonanza, so I shipped it on the 9th. He bought it on the 3rd, so it's 6 days. I still had 4 more days before I had to ship it, so
Right.
that's fine. I got an email from him this morning. And he said, "Hey, where is my product? Why is it not here? And if you do not respond, I'm going to reach out to PayPal and get my money back." So I was like, "Let me look it up." So I looked it up. I didn't have to ship it until the 13th. His expected delivery date is the 19th. The tracking number is tracking, and it is in his town, and it'll probably go out for delivery on Monday. So I sent him that back. I just said, "Hey, it's here. It's at your it's getting ready. It's made it to the final destination. It's in the same zip code where you live, and it says processing through, which means that Monday, when the mail goes out the next time, it should go out to you." So I said, "If here's the tracking information. I took this from Bonanza, which you have access to. So if you want to check it, just go on your Bonanza account and look at it, and that'll tell you where it is." But he emailed me back. He's like, "I was expecting this 2 days ago." So I emailed him back. I said, "Well, the expected date on Bonanza says the 19th. Today's the 15th. So if you're expecting it on the 13th, that was the expected ship date, not the expected delivery date. So if it's not there by the 19th, reach back out to me."
Yeah.
And then he sent me a thing back. He's, "Oh, yeah, I was looking at that wrong. Sorry about that.
Well,
Thank you for responding. I buy stuff on Bonanza, and a lot of times it doesn't ship." And so I told him, I said, "The problem with Bonanza is it doesn't give you any kind of notification when you sell something. So I have to check it, and you have 10 days to ship. So I check it every 3 or 4 days." I said, "Because I've only sold 11 things there this whole year. So I'm not checking it every day. They should send an email saying, 'Hey, you sold
mm-hmm.
something on Bonanza. Woohoo.' But they don't."
But see, that's why I have been leery about. And I know we're going off script on this episode here, folks, and I apologize. We're getting into some things here, and maybe you need to hear. That's why I pulled back from Bonanza. I will not do Bonanza. And the reason I won't do Bonanza is because of PayPal. There's some other alternatives out there that Bonanza apparently uses, but PayPal's their big one.
Yeah.
And I had an eBay account way back in the day where I sold car parts, eBay Motors when they first came out. I was in school as a technician, so it was easy for me to get parts, and there would be core parts and stuff. I started out selling core parts, and then had a person completely rip me off through PayPal. And so when you said he's threatening to get his money back from the PayPal, I went, because even my younger brother who sells on Facebook Marketplace, which I think I would, you folks, if you want to sell on Facebook Marketplace, be my guest. I am not going to sell on Facebook Marketplace because number one, you see all the memes, they're all true. How much is it? Is that the best you'll do? And then they disappear. Or we'll set a time to come see it, and then they never. I tried selling one thing on Facebook Marketplace, and I was like, no, it's too much hassle. I don't need the is it still available crap. But he sells on it, and they sell through PayPal. Mostly, Facebook does through PayPal, or they really let you arrange your own. But most people use PayPal, and PayPal went in. He's out the item. PayPal went in and took $250 back from him, and And PayPal's, if you don't like it, you can file, go to the court system, basically. If you know anything about the court system, and my younger brother having been worked as an attorney in the prosecutor's office, $250 is a small claims magistrate thing. And number one, the worst is going to, the only thing he's going to get is if he files it, the guy's going to get a notice, and that's it. That he owes $250. I mean, there's not even a judgment because it's a small, terribly small claims. At least in the state I'm in, it's not worth it. It's just you're just out the money. So I
Yeah.
will not work with PayPal. I refuse to work with PayPal because PayPal, the buyer is always correct. It does not matter what proof you've got. It does not matter what pictures. Doesn't matter. They don't care. The buyer is correct. The seller is wrong. And the only reason that was willing to even consider eBay again when Ben's was talking to me was because they went away from PayPal. Now they still can do some things that maybe we don't like, but they went away from PayPal because eBay was losing sellers because of working with PayPal like crazy. They were losing a big and losing market share because that's the way PayPal is, and PayPal would just go gank their money back without any questions. There was no way to combat that. So I don't do Bonanza because the main line is PayPal. And I'm not doing Cash App or Venmo or any of that. Now, some of your larger sellers on eBay, and as far as I know, Macari and stuff like that, they have integrated. So you can actually, there's a way you're supposed to be able to integrate your own merchant account. Hey, if that's what you want to do, go for it. I'm going to let eBay continue to do that, but we'll see what happens. You're right. We'll probably be talking about this in another week or two because whatever. I don't know. It seems like there's been a lot of uptick in negative feedback here lately. You included, several other resellers. I listen to their podcasts have gotten neutral or negative feedback, and they're like, "What the crap is going on?" I don't know. So I'm trying to be a little leery right now, and if something doesn't smell right, and I may go ahead and say, "Nah, dude, I think just better off us moving on here." I hadn't decided that yet. He did say, go ahead and ship it. I saw your picture and I verified it, which he should have verified to start with. It's right there in the pictures. Ben's and I are, one thing we've told you guys always make sure you're taking multiple, as many pictures as you can take. You know, more is better, especially when you're dealing with stuff. Now, some items like Ben's sockets, my taps and dies, there's only so many pictures you can take of those items. If they're on a card, a hang card, you're going to turn it up, try to take a picture down on the hang card so you get the little thin line of the cardboard. Some items you just can't, but the more pictures you can take of any item, the better off you are. Agree, disagree, Benz?
I agree. Take as many pictures as you possibly can that make sense.
Anyway, so that's interesting that you would have some of the same stuff going on. I think it's just, I don't know.
Leery about the whole thing.
I think the way you handled it too, yeah, probably a little leery. And I think the way you handle it, and maybe my guy is too, I don't know. But I think how we handle it, because I could have easily gone, you know what, dude, screw you. No, I just wanted to put what I'd put in the picture, my disclaimer down there, and say, and assure him, look, I don't substitute pictures. I'm not gonna, if I'm selling a Mountain Dew can, I'm not gonna take a picture of a Pepsi can and put it up there and say it's Mountain Dew. I'm not gonna do that.
Or you're not
Some
going to take a picture of a Mountain Dew can and send them a different one.
Right. And some people do that. There are sellers who do that, and so I get it. There I ordered, I will show you this. This is a measuring tape or rule, whatever you want to call it, that they sell at Lowe's. I actually ordered a Stanley model, 16 foot, and I get this
Yeah.
from a seller on eBay. Now here's the thing. I actually, except for one thing, I actually like this better. It's even got it on the back, as you can see, and it's got the
Yeah.
fractions right there on it. So this actually to me, when I pulled it out, I was like, who is that? What? But then I got to look at it and I was like, actually, that better. So I'm not going to complain.
You probably should complain because you probably could have got a couple bucks back.
I'm not going to do that. But my point
I know.
is, they were showing a Stanley picture and they sent me this. And one thing I did notice was on the picture, and this is things you got to be careful for. And resellers, if you're listening to us, please don't do this. But it said representation only.
Why wouldn't they just take a picture of that?
Right. Why not just take a picture of this?
Yeah.
But some people, I get it. I guess they don't. I don't know. Maybe they don't have the ability to take pictures. I don't know. It's crazy.
Or Stanley's a better quality, a better selling
It's a
item.
better known name. This is the cheap
So they
brand
send you
from.
that, and then you get it, and you're like, wait a minute, it is actually a better thing. But you would probably not have bought Safe Lock or whatever that was.
This is Comelon. I think that's how you say it. Kome or Comelon something. I've seen them now at Lowe's, but it's a Chinese brand.
Yeah, it's
So
a knockoff.
yeah, and it's the cheap model. At Lowe's, it's the cheap one. I did go look at the price, and part of the reason I bought it was because it was cheaper than I could buy the Stanley for at the hardware store. So it's better off if you don't do that kind of stuff. Have what you have, take pictures of what you have. Don't be stealing pictures from other eBay resellers. Because here's one thing that I've noticed too. I actually noticed another person with one of my pictures.
That's
They had
crazy.
one of my pictures. We had the same item, and they had ripped off one of my pictures. And because I was doing a relisting, sell similar, and so I put it in there just to see the price because when I was readjusting everything, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, that's my picture. I recognize the background. I can tell it's my picture. But then as I look more at their item, I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Your item has damage in this one. And so by stealing my picture
Yeah,
and then basically using it, in one picture, it didn't show damage on the corner, and on another picture, it did show damage on the same particular corner. So you can get yourself in hot water with eBay for doing that because if they get the item and say, wait a minute, the picture didn't show this damage here and it wasn't notated, or it didn't show it, because even if you notate it and the pictures don't show it, you
yeah.
can still get in hot water. So I don't know. We've been rambling, been chasing some rabbits, a little different format. Maybe we should get back to our format, but I'm just warning you, make sure one thing there, I'll decide what to do with this particular buyer. I'm not going to mention any names. Good feedback. I don't have any. I have still been selling items, but I am just not getting any feedback these days. And I'm still sending out my notes, but I'm still stuck at 67. I can't get anybody to leave me feedback. I have been seeing yours shoot up though like crazy, Ben. So what are you doing? Are you doing anything different? Are you sending out notes with it, or are you just
I'm not sending any notes, but my wife sends a nice personal message to every person that buys something because that's all she does for the business. So having her send a personalized, hey, thanks for buying whatever it is. Hope you enjoy it. Check our store. We have stuff, new stuff every week. And thanks for supporting our small business and helping us. And it's very. I think that's what gets my feedback. I just hit 500 maybe a couple episodes ago, and now I'm at 534. So the
yeah,
feedback's flying.
yeah, the feedback is flying for you. Now see, I've still been sending out
I
my
sell a lot more than you too.
that's true. And maybe I'm just getting the ones who don't care. Now I did interesting enough, I did get positive feedback from one guy a few weeks ago. I didn't mention it because it's not really positive feedback. What he did was he sent me a message back and he was like, I know not now how to leave feedback. I buy and Buddy shipped to me from Arizona or something like that. And I'm like, what? But
It was
whatever.
positive though.
Yeah, it was a positive note, but it doesn't count towards my feedback. Thanks for the positive heads up on the message.
So what did you learn this week? Anything?
I learned that honestly, adjusting your shipping stuff does not necessarily help you. I learned that when you go in and try to do bulk edits on eBay, it doesn't necessarily fix everything.
Yeah.
So
All right.
that's what I've learned. What'd you learn this week? Did you learn anything interesting?
I learned that when you're buying stuff on an online auction, look at it closely.
Oh no!
It's not a bad thing, right? So I was on an online auction, and I've been selling a lot of those like 1/24 size cars. Like they've been selling like crazy. So there was an online auction with 35 of them, There was like 5 auctions with 35 in each one. And from the pictures, they looked like they were the 1/24th size. I got a good deal on them, so it's no complaint. But they were all the 1/64th size,
Ooh,
which takes it from a car to a Matchbox car.
right.
But they were all worth about $12 a piece. That is what they're selling for. They don't have great sell through. I went through and listed them all. Some of them were a little higher, some were lower, but I would say the average price is $12. They were a quick list. They were from the raceways. So like Darlington, Atlanta,
Show us an
Kentucky
example. You got an
Raceway.
example you can pull up and share a screen?
Sure.
So while you're pulling
I,
that, let me see if I can recap what you're saying here. Pay attention to what you're bidding on and look a little different and look real close and try to make sure you know as much about it as possible. Is that what you're saying?
just be aware of what you're buying, right? I'm not upset about these, but you could have been worse, right? So that looks like those other cars,
Right.
especially if there's 35 of them jammed together.
Oh yeah, it looks easily. You could think that was the 125th, but right there on the box it says,
It says 164 on all of them, and I made sure I put that in all my things, stock car, whatever. But like this gentleman, and let's stop sharing that and go back to my store, and we'll share that. So I listed them all. Right? I have 100, and I listed 160 of them. Price point is like $11.95. I paid $1.25 a piece for them.
"Hey, that's still not.
You
You
know,
still got a good
yeah,
deal on them." So
yeah, no, I'm almost at my 10 times. I got a 20% off sticker running now, but whatever. But they were easy lists. So especially if it doesn't look like I did it the way I did it, but like I took all the Atlanta Motor ones and boom, I was able to make one Atlanta Motor Speedway and the date, NASCAR promo scale. Can you see that or no?
yeah, yeah.
Right, NASCAR limited edition. So then all I had to do was go in and change the date, and I had like from 2006 to 2017. So it was I made the thing, and then I went in and made sure all the attributes were right, and then I just went in and sold similar, and just changed the date. So I listed like 160 of them in 2 days.
Wow.
So
Yeah,
really easy to
that's
list.
moving.
Boom, took the same pictures of all of them, and then boom.
And that's
So it
an
was a quick
easy
list.
ship too, because you just
Oh, yeah,
put a piece of
that doesn't
cardboard
even go
around
in.
that and throw it down in a small, even one of my small like bubble bags, and
I got little boxes I can put them in. I'll probably put them in a box so they don't get crushed. I'm pretty sure they'll. But it's 30 cents, a 30-cent box. So if someone bought 4 of them, I could put 4 of them in a 4x4x4. So I started thinking about, well, maybe I'll lot them up. Wait, but then I was like, it's going real easy. So I eventually can go back and do buy one get one or
yeah.
whatever to blow them out or whatever. So I just went ahead and listed them. Plus, it gave me 160 listings in 2 days. So can't complain about that.
No, Lord no.
But be aware because I thought I was buying this car and I bought this car. But in the picture where they were pictured, and let
Yeah,
me
you
show.
don't have to show us. I know what you're saying because I've seen them before.
Yeah,
And
I've seen. I was like, oh, that's a hell of a deal.
they don't
35 cars.
necessarily when they're listing them on there. Usually, they don't advertise in the banner the size. You
They didn't. It
actually
didn't say it anywhere in there. I just
right.
assumed because that's what I've been selling a lot of. I was like, yeah, those are like the cars I bought. So I'm glad I didn't go higher. But honestly, the other cars would have sold for 15. So it's not like they were a big difference in the price.
Well, and I think the big thing
And
is
I think they're rarer than the bigger cars. So it's worked out.
the catch there is be sure of what you're buying.
Yeah.
But
But those you had to go to the race to get them. So they
yeah,
gave them away free to everybody who came to the race. So hopefully there's somebody that, oh, I didn't get to all the Daytona ones. I've got Daytona from 92 through
wow,
2017.
wow.
And that, and then Bristol. Went to every race at Bristol. He went to every race at Atlanta. He must have been wherever he was. Those are the ones he wanted to go to. And then there's random ones that are just like special cars for a random race here and there. So those were a little longer to list because I had to look them up individually. But and the other thing, if so, those 20 years of races, you might only find 2 from that race. So if you go out there and look at that now, 90% of what's out there. You can see my little cork board or whatever that board in the background. So I got the market of them. So we'll see what happens.
I mean,
So that, and then I bought some Vera Bradley bags. I bought a total of $240 worth of stuff.
well, and
But
it's interesting that you would bring that up. But we
just the car is listed out for 1,500 and some odd bucks. So
That was another thing was he brought up the Vera Bradley bags, and I actually looked at some, and I used to sell quite a few because I got them dropped off to me, and I went through them, and I bought a couple, and I sold quite a few there for a little while, and they sell great this time of year. Purses sell
yeah,
great this time of year, and in the spring. I came across some, and I was looking at them, and I was like, that's actually a great deal. I can get these three here. One of them's got a certificate of authenticity. I can get it for $15. But when I went and I was like, how much are they worth? And I looked it up, and total, the three of them together was worth like $40.
yeah,
And I was like, by the time I grab them, I get them, I take pictures of them, I list them, give somebody a 15% discount because they're watching it and they buy it,
yeah.
I'm going to end up making there again. So I put a little bit of a freeze on my sourcing, folks, because what I've started doing is I'm going, no, I want to start moving. Ben's did. Ben's kind of moved. Now he still sells these lower dollar items as well. Okay, so a $12 Matchbox card is worth $12, selling it for $11.95. That's not much money either. But when he's getting them for $1, there's the key. So I'm starting to be a little bit choosier on what I'm sourcing and how I'm sourcing it because I don't want to pay $5 for a $15 item because I'm only going to make three times my money, possibly. Because what I've realized is, and that's why I think that's why Ben's for a long time was saying, I want 10 times my money, I want 10 times my money, because if you can retail it 10 times your money, what you spent, that gives you a good buffer to sell it. If you've only gone 2 to 3 times, by the time you get smacked with the eBay fees, and you like what I just sold that guy, I do not mind canceling it at all because it's still got that free shipping on there, so that's going to eat into it. But he bought it at $33. By the time the promoted fees and everything comes out of it, I'm already down to $20. By the time I sell it, I'm going to be down around 14, $15. And that particular item, I happen to know I bought it for me personally to use and then ended up not being able to use it because it's a Z Wave thing and I switched all my stuff off of Z Wave, so I can't use it. So the only way I can look at it is how much can I reclaim out of it because it cost me $30 to buy it.
Yeah.
So I'm more than happy to cancel it because I'm already losing money drastically. I'm going to lose 50% on it. Now, again, that
You're
wasn't
getting free money because it's just sitting there. You're not going to use it. So I
right.
mean,
So that's the way I have to look at it is I'm not using it. So I get back part of my money, but I'd like to get back a little bit more.
I think the Vera Bradleys you need to look if you find them. I find them at a yard sale for a few bucks, or I have been going on auction sites and putting that in, and then just looking for lots of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I bought a lot of 12 for $10 plus $11 shipping, so 12 of them for $20. You can't go wrong with that. And they do. Some of them sell for 30. A lot of them sell for 20. A
And
lot of them sell for 12.
that's the
But
key, which brings up an interesting thing you and I talked about Coach bags. I sold a lot of Coach bags. Coach bags are a hot item right now. They're faked a lot, so be careful. Don't buy any Coach bags that you can't get the authenticity certificate on because they are faked a lot. And if it gets reported to eBay that you're selling fake merchandise as is, they will pop you for it. So be very careful. But Coach was my grandma's bags, but apparently that's become a new thing. And know your stuff. I guess that's the thing we can say here. Know what you're buying. It goes back to what you said you learned this week.
yeah, exactly. I
Pay
learned that this
attention
week.
and know your items. I
Yeah,
walked
you see
in.
something on an auction, don't get excited and just jump in. That's what I did. I jumped in. And then when I went to go pick them up, I was like, man, I took my wife's car because I'm like, that's 160 of these cars. It's going to take up some space. And then they give me a bag that holds 35. I'm like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, and that's the thing is be careful
But
what
I
you're
did
buying.
before I, and just, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but before I bid on them, I did do. I went in, did the Google Lens, and looked them up. It just never occurred to me that they were smaller.
And that's the thing. So be careful what you're sourcing. Be careful how you're sourcing them out. One of our great resources for you folks that are listening, if you've not already checked it out, is our picker pass sessions. Those are huge because they give you the actual. They're not just. We don't just throw out there like some of our resellers do. No offense to them. Some other podcasters, we love those guys. They will say, just go find this. But Ben's and I actually on Picker Pass actually try to get into the science of it, what the resale rate is, the sell through rate, all that, because we want to make sure. Yeah, he's an everything seller, and I'm more of a niche seller, but he doesn't want to put something in his store that he paid $5 for, that's going to sit there for 5 years and sell for 10. It's taking up space on his shelf. He's not making any money off of it. So
Yeah,
even he doesn't
that's
want
the
to do
other
that.
advantage that these being small is they're taking up much less space. So I was like, oh, I can put them on this shelf. I'll empty this out and I'll put them all right here. I already had the other ones on a shelf, and I was able to just put them in two boxes and set them on top, so they didn't take up any space in the garage. So
And
hey,
that,
maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
yeah, it may be. So sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. You guys know one of my niches is pocket watches, so I'm huge on that. And Ben's and I have our different niches, and we go back and forth. Have a partner. That's something too as well. Have somebody that's a different niche than you. Before I sell anything electrical, guess what? I'm gonna pick up the phone and I'm gonna call Mike.
Yeah.
Mike knows his electrical stuff. He worked in it for good lord, all pretty much all his life. He knows what it's worth. Ben's knows belt buckle. I was looking at a lot of belt buckles the other night, and I was like, Ben's, take a look at this. So he looked at it and he's like, yeah, that's junk. He's like, it's not junk, but it's only gonna be like $5 belt buckles. So I'm like, they're already wanting $3 for them a piece. That's
No, what you need to do, it's like I did. So I buy belt buckles from a company that now has decided to get out of the belt buckle industry. They sent me a note and they're like, "Hey, we're liquidating all our belt buckles for $6.95 for 10 of them, so 69 cents, 70 cents a piece." You can't pick what they are, but there was I think 30 different possibilities. So I bought 10 10 bags of them. They,
well,
they were supposed to be here today. They didn't show up, but they'll be here tomorrow. They got
but again,
delayed.
that's
It's a
coming back to
holiday. So
knowing what
70,
you're buying and
yeah,
knowing your
and
item.
those belt buckles are $10 belt buckles, $10, $12 belt buckles. But I keep saying I'm going to raise my average sell price. But if I can buy a 70 cent item that I know I can at least get $7 out of, I'm going to do that all day long.
Yeah, 10
I
times
don't
your
mind.
money.
And I
And they
got a
have a
thousand.
decent sell through rate too. But
Yeah, and
there
I've got a
again,
thousand
you,
bags to put them
you
in.
don't want to buy a $10 belt, even a lot of 10 belt buckles, $10 belt buckles. You don't want to buy them for $90 because
No,
a 10 lot of 10 belt buckles that are
hey,
$10 belt buckles is worth $100 by the time you see you don't want to do that. So
yeah,
that's what I was saying is I'm trying to get away from that now. I'm being very careful. I've had to learn some hard lessons, especially you get into stuff like I'm getting into belt pocket watches and regular jewelry and stuff like that. You're going to find a nugget every now and then, but you better know what you're buying. I got offered a job at a pawn store the other day. I was like, are you looking for work? I was like, well, actually I am, but this is not really what I want to do myself, because I knew more than they did. And I was able to go, well, you need to look at this, look at that. Have guys that get, that's another reason I'm going to do a shameless plug here. Sorry, Ben. When Mike's podcast or vlog comes out where he's talking about the meetups, and I know I haven't been to one yet, but through Ben's and through Mike and through Alex and all the guys, I've started getting connected. And I know if I get a look on a book, I know who I'm calling. You start to learn some of the guys and you contact them and you say, hey, look, I'm looking at this. What do you think it's worth? They'll tell you. And it's like Pawn Stars. Remember the show Pawn Stars? Rick would
yes.
say, I'm going to bring in my expert here. You call the guys because as you start to learn the things that you're sourcing, you get that becomes something you're really good about. Ben's doesn't buy pocket watches without talking to me first.
Oh, hey, if I have a pocket watch, I'm like, hey man, what does this look like? 90% of times, yeah, I wouldn't buy that. I'm like, okay, I won't. That's fine.
Now, sometimes I'll say, "Ooh, that one there. Now, if you can get it for this, get it for this." Like the
Yeah.
other day, we came across a lot of them, and I was like, "Those four are junk," but that one there, I wouldn't spend more than this for the whole lot. And wow, we've chased some rabbits for 46 minutes. Did talk about feedback. You got positive feedback. Did you share your positive feedback? Your feedback of the week?
I did. The feedback of the week was the lady that canceled the.
That's right.
My
What?
favorite, my favorite buyer of the week,
Right. Let's hear your favorite buyer of the week.
Cardinals.fan. All right, that's a good name. I'm just saying. That's all it's about for me.
You just like the name. I got it. I
Yep.
got you. My buyer of the week would have to be uh, Bailey Boo 622. And what's interesting about Bailey Boo 622, I really like the name, but this particular individual, and the reason I know this is through messaging because I send messages, sometimes I get messages back. This particular individual has an account that is tied to a significant other. And it's one of those really awesome. I wish I could do this for my wife, but I can't. Where basically this significant other has just said, "Here, tie my credit card to it. You buy whatever you want." And I'm like, "Sweet, I have all these other items. Can I interest you in all this here?" If you're, but that's what I really liked. There was Bailey Boo 622 bought a piece of women's clothes for me, and then I chuckled at the name I was shipping it to because it was obviously obvious a male name. But when I reached out and then we got to talking, I was like, I was a little leery shipping this to, or making sure it wasn't going to get canceled. Oh no. And then it explained the story. And I was like, wow, that's awesome. I'm not telling my wife at all because she'll want her own eBay account tied to my eBay credit card or my eBay debit card. That's not going to happen. Yeah, honey, if you're watching, it's not going to happen.
But once you start selling more and more, you can just say, "Hey, honey, we got $400 in there. If there's anything you really need, buy it on eBay instead of buying it somewhere."
I'm thinking about getting her one of the debit cards that I use from the eBay checking account because
Yeah.
I really think with with how she does grocery shopping, she should
Hmm.
do a podcast on grocery shopping because I listen to other people talk. And folks, you can look at me and tell I'm obviously not starving. And we eat pretty good in this house, but she's been buying here. She buys our groceries basically around 100 to 150 bucks a week. That's it. And this day and time, you go, what are you getting for that? Ramen noodles all the time? No, we actually have meat. We have just like everybody else, but she's very good at finding the deals. Sometimes we have some weird food. Like I'm not familiar with this Asian meal here, honey, but okay.
I want to show you one more thing on the eBay store. I changed the header.
There, we were talking about this, but anyway. So while you're doing, oh yeah, that's
So
it.
you see this here? See if
What
you can
is
scan that with your phone.
what is on your head?
It's like a weird hat.
Yeah, I see that.
It's a coonskin hat with flaps. That was
Well,
our birthday.
that's awesome. Okay. Oh, you put a
Can you
QR
scan that?
code. I don't know if I
Yeah.
can or not.
See if you can scan it on eBay because I do it. I did it. I tested it.
I don't know if it'll let me on the screen here as it's coming through, but we can try to find out. No, it's not picking it up.
Yeah, it's because it's
It's
that.
because it's on the screen. But okay, cool.
It's
Where does
because
that?
of this screen. But if you go to my store, you can scan that, and it'll take you directly to the podcast.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, yeah. It was a pain because I had to do. It took me like 4 or 5 tries to get it so it didn't truncate it, and that's probably what's going on now. Is it's truncating it so it can't
But now
scan.
here's the problem. See, we talk about how much we pay for stuff on here.
Yeah, no, I can't scan it.
Of course, I will say this, folks. If you can source, this guy here, Benz is a sourcing maniac, but that's because his job, the jobs he's worked over the years in
Yeah,
logistics and distribution and shipping and all that stuff, he knows where to get stuff from. Don't give away all the secrets.
no,
Anyway,
I'm not.
anyway,
I source way too. I have way too much stuff. I bought stuff this week. I shouldn't have bought this week.
oh my goodness, your wife needs to smack you.
Don't
But
tell her. She doesn't watch
But
this. Otherwise,
anyway,
she.
Bailey Boo 622 was my favorite buyer this week. Sold her a hoodie, and she should be getting it. I would say, I think she's getting it tomorrow. So that's awesome. Anyway, well, that's our. We're running out of time here. What's one of our
Okay, what were your sales for the week?
my sales for the week? I had those two, so I actually increased. I can give my performance metrics here if we want to. Let's see. Sales, come on here. My eBay is not wanting to work. Okay, so I got to do my custom from the 8th of last week to the 14th. Generate report. Wow. I was actually up 50.7% because I sold two instead of one. Net sales was $34.37. Yeah, not
Yeah, so
terrible.
my week was down in dollars, but up in quantity.
Well, that's because you've been running those coupons
Running
or,
crazy sales.
yeah.
I didn't. My dollars was only like 750 this week, but I sold 40 things,
I want to
and
interject here just a second. Folks, I went and thought about doing what he's done. He's run a 20% coupon across store
yeah,
wide, and I thought about doing that, and I went back and I was like, I can't. And see, there's where it's very important that you be very careful sourcing because, see, he can do that because he's up in there in that, anywhere from 5+ times his money. And so if he gives away 20%, it's still
yeah.
not killing him. If I give away 20% on a lot of my stuff because I'm only, for the longest time, I was like, oh, if I can make two times my money, I'm good. Yeah, and he kept shaking his head just like he did right there. And he'd be like, well, you do whatever you want to do. But he would say, you do whatever
Two
you want to
times
do.
your money is you're giving it away because it's going to cost you 50% to sell it.
And
I mean, about 30%.
that's where we're at. I was doing two and three times. I was like, I'm happy if I make two or three times my money. You don't actually make that, especially since
No,
eBay's up their metrics and their fees and all this gosh doodle stuff. And I can't do these coupons. So right now, I can't go slap a coupon on my store. I could and go into red. Maybe if I wanted to write a bunch of stuff off for taxes, but I've not made a lot of money this year. I don't need help on taxes. He's been doing well, but he's up to 750. And how many items have you sold?
40 this week.
40. So a lot of sipping and chipping. You should go over and check out that channel. I watched your episode from the other day when you did the Mexican mudslide.
Yeah, that thing was delicious.
I might have to go try that.
Cheese, man. And you go to Walmart,
He was like,
90
I
cents.
wish I'd had a bigger one.
I did. Oh, man, I should have bought two of those. So I found with those, the ones, the Chi Chi ones, that the cream base, like the pina colada was great. The Mexican mudslide was great. The Long Island iced tea tastes like prune juice. It was the worst thing I've ever drank. And then I did another one that was like, I don't know what it was. It was some kind of fruit thing, tasted like that cough medicine you took when you were a kid. It was
Ooh,
horrible. So but I bought like 10 of them because they were like 90 cents. I'm like, ah. But then today, or yesterday, because I got to do it again tomorrow, and I have 12 things to do. So I'll probably split that up into two different shows and hopefully sell a few more things for the week.
go check it out. Go check it out. It's pretty cool.
I'm like,
He's
so
like,
I went, and I was like, oh, I went into Sun City. There's no place with good beers, like from other countries, like where you can just buy a beer. Everywhere you had to buy either a 12 pack or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I bought a 15 pack of some German beers, but there was three different ones in there. So I pretty much said, okay, these three go into the sipping and shipping uh, section, and then these ones I drank, which they were really good. They were from Germany, but I drank them yesterday. Not all of them, most of them.
I was going to say all of them, but
Well, no, I only had 12 left. That's like Saturday afternoon, right? But then I was thinking that didn't work because they only do three shows. I looked up Total Wines, which I know they have like individual beers, and then the closest one to me is, I don't know, like 48 minutes away, and it was Saturday. Probably had like six beers in me. I'm like, probably shouldn't drive there, but they had delivery for $4.99. So I
what?
bought like 19 different beers and then a big bottle of this for Christmas. So now I'm gonna,
Well,
because it's
don't
the
give away
holiday
all your sipping
season.
and shipping stuff, dude.
I'm gonna come check it out. I'm not. You don't know whether I like it
I
or
tell you
not.
what we should do,
I
folks.
got the whiskey. I got some apple cider whiskey.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna do a shot of that.
No, hold on to
And
that.
then
What we should do, folks, and this is a challenge we should do. We should talk, and it'll take you guys emailing in cjbensfines at gmail.com. We should talk Ben's into doing a live where every time a sale is made on his site, he takes a shot. And we should do a live, and we should plan it out, and you guys should go in there and see if we can get him drunk on camera.
I can drink.
Yeah, I
So
know you
you better
can.
bring your wallet because it's gonna take a lot of shots. Plus, your body doesn't really, if the alive is less than 2 hours long, I won't be drunk. No matter how much you drink, in 2 hours you're not going to get drunk.
Oh, folks, did you hear that challenge?
Oh, I'm telling you, I won't get drunk in 2 hours.
Everybody
I
should
don't give a
bring
shit.
your wallets. Let's get it. Let's get it on. Y'all write in if you want to do that. Let's do
But
it.
I'm telling you, in 2 hours, there's no way I could get drunk.
He'll eat a stick of butter.
Why not? I love butter, man. The only reason I eat bread is because it's a way to get butter into my mouth and not be a weirdo.
That's an old joke between us folks, and I'll let you in a little bit. There was this back when we played online gaming. There was this one chick. She was sending around pictures of herself to everybody, and she was like, "Don't I look good?" Apparently, she needed a confidence boost. And everybody's like, "Yeah, you look great." Ben's, no, he was the truthful one. He was like, "She looks like she's eating a tub of country crock with a spoon."
Every day, man. Like you're eating a tub of butter every day.
That is mean.
It was true.
Yeah,
I'm not petite, so if you're not petite, don't act like you are.
true.
Oh, I eat healthy. You can look at me and go, that dude doesn't eat healthy. His favorite thing is Junior Bacon Cheeseburger from Wendy's. And he gets 3 of them at a time because that's how many you need to get full.
Now, see, they talked junk to me yesterday because I went and got the number 6 fish fillet from McDonald's and got a double cheeseburger to boot. You're like, that's a lot of food. I'm like, that's not a lot of food.
What do you say? The double cheeseburgers, they're little.
Yeah.
I mean,
But anyway.
you didn't have the app, did you?
No, I need to get the app, but I'm not trying not.
Right now,
I'm
through
trying not to
next
go to
week.
McDonald's.
No, now starting in December through the third week in December, once a week, once every week, you can get a double cheeseburger for 50 cents.
That's fine, but I'm trying not. I'm trying to get my eBay room built, folks, over here,
It's 54 cents with
so I
tax.
can get
I
back
mean,
on this equipment. I've got all my eBay stuff piled on right now.
you get a double cheeseburger for 54 cents. I don't give a shit if you're trying to be healthy. It's still 54 cents for a double cheeseburger. Come on.
Hey, you can turn around and keep it for 10 years and sell it on eBay.
You
I'm
just
kidding.
set it in the corner.
Anyway, folks,
You got to eat them while they're fresh. They
let's
don't
go
microwave
on to our. Do we have any eBay news? And we usually end on
well.
eBay news, and we're getting up there around the time. We've talked about our feedback. We've talked about. And then we didn't mention our favorite sale. Yeah. So we've covered everything. We got any eBay news for us?
I do, but for some reason it won't let me pull it over from the other screen. That is weird. Oh, there it goes. I don't know what I was doing. All right. eBay news. You guys ready?
We're ready. Hit us with it.
So there was a problem with fake hazmat warnings on eBay labels on December 12th. So every label that was printed on December 12th,
What?
starting at a little after 8 o'clock in the morning, and it was fixed by 9:28 a.m. But if you were trying to ship anything on December 12th, it would put in on the label a hazmat warning. So if you sell hazmat stuff and you click it's hazmat, it'll say it right on the label.
Right.
So every label that came out from 8 something till 9:28 on December 12th had the hazmat warning on it, which means it can't go in the air. So especially particular problem if it was a priority shipment, because it didn't matter where way it was going, as long as it was a USPS label for that hour and a half, they all had that hazmat warning on.
Oh my gosh.
I'm glad I don't ship in the morning. I ship at night because I like to sip and ship the night before. Because sipping and shipping and then driving, not the best thing.
Nah.
That was a crazy glitch.
Have they figured out what that glitch came from? Because I know Krispy Kreme right now has said that something's happened with they got hacked or something. And everybody's you didn't get hacked, but apparently the running joke from Saturday Night Live was that their security had holes in it.
That's good.
I thought that was
So what eBay came back with is that, hey, it's been resolved. If you go back and reprint your label, it will not have that on it.
yeah, but it's
So
the
if you had printed
15th.
label-
That was on the 12th.
Yeah,
if
no,
you're
but they
running one day
fixed it by
shipping,
9:28 on the 12th.
yeah,
They
but
fixed it an hour and a half later. If you would have went back and reprinted it,
wow, okay,
but I wonder how many people printed the label, didn't see that,
it got
and sent their
screwed.
item out.
Yeah, and
It
got
was going
screwed.
priority mail, and instead of going priority, now is going basically ground because it can't go in the air.
And that is the bad thing. That is one of the negatives, drawbacks that eBay has that Amazon doesn't. I don't sell on Amazon, but Amazon would go in if there was bad feedback, take it out and say this was our fault. eBay doesn't do that. eBay does not do that.
All right, so here's one for you and me to really worry about. eBay has increased the limit of combined invoices from 40 items to 100 items. How many people has this a problem for? But a seller was excited that on December 8th, they were able to successfully do an invoice for 66 items.
Wow.
Because previously it would be 40, and you after you did the 40, you'd have to send it to the customer. Then they'd have to pay the invoice, and then you could send them another one for for the other 26. They would have to pay the invoice, pay for the shipping, then you would have to refund them back the shipping. But you know what?
Who is that seller? Because we need to get in contact
I know.
with and
If I
bring
could
them on the
sell
podcast.
40 things, I sold 40 things this week. If I could sell 40 things to one person, I'd ship that shit for
At
free.
one invoice, yeah. We need to look up, try to figure out who that reseller is, and get them on this podcast.
Yeah. So just so you know, they're still limiting it at
At
100 items per
100,
invoice.
wow.
Yeah.
I'd
But
be happy
everybody's
with just
super excited.
10 or happy with just 5.
I'd be happy. Yeah. It was already 40, so I never saw that problem.
Yeah.
I've never sold
Yeah.
40 things to one person. But that's good to know. So, I mean, if you're selling a bunch of little bitty things and people buy them in lots, or if you're selling them for, some like old pictures or whatever, somebody might buy a bunch of, that's good. So you can now send an invoice for up to 100 items at one time.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting information for you folks to know. At some point, maybe that'll be my problem.
Yeah.
Right now, not a problem. 2 items a week, not a problem.
The other thing this week, eBay expanded its partnership with KALARMA, Klarma. I don't know what it is.
I don't know who that is.
That's the thing on there. You ever go to buy something that says, "Oh, you can pay for it later," or you can pay
Oh,
in payment?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
they've expanded that now to include the UK, France, Spain, and other countries. It offers a flexible feature for interest-free payment, or just pay it in 30 days. So you don't have to pay for it now. They'll hold on to it, and if you pay for it in 30 days, you don't have to pay for it up front. Not something they do, I think, in the U.S., but something that they're trying over in Europe.
That'd be awesome.
That's a cool thing.
Should help sales there. Of course, they have finally put. If you go look, folks, you'll see now the disclaimer, the news from last time talking about the strike, the postal strike in Canada. There
Yeah.
is now a disclaimer on eBay when you go to ship
Yep.
that says it. This stuff's real. We're not just making this up. This is actual news.
Yeah, that and then actually they're doing it to try to attract younger shoppers who like to buy on credit, but they don't want to use their credit card. They want to use some way they can buy it with 0% and just put it off and pay for it later. That is one of the things they're aligning in Europe or UK. Also they're trying to attract people who are sellers with the free selling in the UK. If you are not a business, you're just a personal seller. So maybe they'll bring that stuff here.
There's a lot of awesome stuff in other countries that we don't have here.
Yeah.
Like that one Toyota pickup that we used to have here way back when, but apparently we can't have it anymore, and they still sell it overseas. Can't have the old Toyota pickup used to last forever now. You can't have that in the U.S. We got to have the crap that falls apart after 5 years. But I digress. Anyway. Oh, speaking of that, I know you're looking at your next article, and I know that you drive a Challenger.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new ad for the Challenger from Mopar from Dodge?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh, they are cracking on EVs like nobody's business. Like they are like, we're going to eat you for breakfast and crap you out the tailpipe. It's an awesome ad.
That's not true, right?
Just go look it up.
I will look it up, but I've seen videos of people with baseline Teslas racing Hellcats, and in the quarter mile, Hellcat will never beat it.
We can talk about
The
the
Tesla's
physics of
electric;
it.
it sends all its power to the ground,
I know we
and
can
it
talk about the
accelerates like
physics. I
crazy.
used to be a technician. I know how it all works. Of course, now it's hard to beat horsepower, and they're talking. I think that new one coming out is supposed to have somewhere around 900 to 1100. I was like, good
Yeah,
God!
yeah.
But anyway,
You don't need all that.
what's
I
the
got what I got,
what's the next?
and
You and
it's
I
kind of
both
cool.
are not trying to I'm not trying to send the executive BP personally their children to Harvard.
Just saying, from 0 to 60, I'm the fastest person you'll ever meet. After that, I slow right down.
Anyway, one last article. If you got it.
eBay is facing a catch a glitch for
Mm.
preventing some buyers from signing in. This is frustrating new
I have been
customers
dealing with that.
and
My
sellers
new
alike.
my new VPN.
Yeah,
Norton upgraded my VPN and everything, my virtual private network, and man, everything I do on eBay, I have to turn it off to list. I have to turn it off to list because, like, I'll be in the middle of listing and I'll try to save draft or something. And
yeah,
got to go through CAPTCHA again. I lose everything. But maybe it's the CAPTCHA glitch. I thought it was a VPN. So tell us
yeah.
more.
Young customers are very upset. They've been threatening to stop buying on eBay and go with other places like AliExpress and Temu where they don't have that problem. Additional buyers report account suspensions from using VPNs, while sellers face issues logging in using their VPN. So it definitely is the VPN causing you problems.
That's what I thought. And honestly, if you're not running a VPN these days, you really are taking a huge risk. Because if you do with the way we do, my wife does all of our banking and stuff through our computer and everything. So we use VPNs, like I use them like crazy. And then because of the nature of the industry that I work in with insurance and financial stuff, I have to use a VPN. I'm required to. So I'm trying to protect my customers, I'm trying to protect my stuff. eBay needs to get with the program and get their stuff VPN safe.
But yeah, my wife works from home. She does IT. All her stuff she connects in through the VPN
Mhm.
into there. So I probably need a VPN, but she could probably hook it up.
We're going to get hacked here on our thing and actually have somebody drop in our podcast.
All of a sudden we
Hey,
get like balls sitting on our chin. What the hell happened?
that'd be wrong. Anyway, hey,
All right, that's the news, people. I'm glad you stayed around this long to listen to those news stories. Thank you
I
again for
think this was
wasting
a
another
great
hour of
show.
your life. It is. We're having fun.
Hopefully, it was informational for you guys. It wasn't just two guys ranting and raving, but because we did chase a few rabbits, but I think there was a lot of good information in there for you. Stay
Yeah.
tuned for updates on
When,
all of it.
when I edit it, I'm like, oh, all we did was talk about monkeys or whatever. And then I go in there and watch. I'm like, hey, there's actually good stuff in here. Call out Mike again. I've relaunched everything, and he's been watching every single one. And what did he tell you? He's writing notes.
Yeah, he said there's some good stuff in it. There really is. Of course, now what Mike could learn from us or Alex or Biscuit, any of them, what they could learn from us, I don't know, but
Everybody does the business different,
they
right?
do.
And there's things we might think of that they did not. And I'm sure there's a lot of things they thought of that we have no idea about. But you know what? We're learning as we go. We're sharing our experience. And you know what? We're glad you're just here watching with us. And again, for those 5 people that were your favorite podcast on Spotify, thank you again. Do
Awesome.
me a favor, send me a note. I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah, send us a note. And again, we like to have guests on. And
Yep.
even if you're just now starting and you're like, I'm just starting, we'd love that would be awesome because what we try to do, and we've had we've had some gurus on, Mike, the guys who've been doing this full time for a long time. It would be cool to have somebody who is brand spanking new because every time somebody new becomes a reseller, they're bringing a whole different set of experiences, a whole different mindset, and that's good for our community. It really is. That's
Yeah.
and so we can all learn from each other, and that's why yes, I'm going to try to get to a meetup. I'm not going to say which one again because I want you guys to go over and check out Mike's channel that's coming out. It's already out now,
It is.
but
Mike Metco Meetups.
go
He's got his first 2 videos, I think, out now.
go check it out. Maybe Ben's can throw a link in here on YouTube. Now, those of you who are listening on Spotify, we can try to
Go
get
to
it
the
to you.
show notes. It'll be in there
Okay, we'll have it in the show notes for you. And then, of course, awesome.
if I
So,
remember.
and then go check out Sipping and Chipping. It's a pretty awesome little show. And of course, if you're not already watching our Picker Pass, you need to go back. That is one I definitely recommend folks taking notes on. It has totally changed how I look at sourcing and how I look at what to buy and what not to buy. I don't just buy stuff I think's cool anymore.
I
Ben's
do.
Ben's for a long time. I don't think he's bought any indigenous art in a long time. He
I
did.
did stop buying
He,
that from once he did that. I was like, this stuff's great. I love this stuff. It's 2.1%. Although I did sell 2 pieces during the holidays.
right. He did. It does eventually sell everything.
Everything eventually
Remember
sells.
our mottos.
Yeah.
Everything sells eventually, and you only sell what you list.
List. Yes. And right now, I just sold a car.
What you and
Not one of the ones little ones. One of the ones that was like $70.
the second one
So
has a double meaning. You only sell what you list because if you're not listing, you're not selling anything. And two, the categories you do your listing, make sure you're keeping your unless you're a one niche seller, make sure you're putting something from each one of your categories on there all the time because you'll be surprised. You may list an item that's say a lady's coat and you don't sell that coat, you sell another coat.
another coat.
So it's how it works out. But everything sells eventually and you only sell what you list. We should figure out how to incorporate in our logo that those two things.
Sure, make a new logo for me.
I don't have the fancy logo generator. You do. I have to go to my daughter, who's like a graphic artist.
There you go. That'd be the original, not some AI crap.
I did think it was cool. I do think it's cool that one of the logos that she designed is actually being worn now on clothes all over the place. So it's cool. But anyway, we won't go into that.
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't get cha-ching.
I
What's
don't
up with
ever
that?
get the cha-ching. I would kill over and have a heart attack if I ever heard it. It never does that for me.
It doesn't do it all the time for me. I don't understand why.
But anyway, we're glad you're with us, folks. Again, like, subscribe, and do us a favor, hit the notification bell because we're going to try to get a live pop in here one of these days soon. I know we've been promising it. We're going to try to get a live going on. And we may do that challenge one where we bring up Ben's store. If you guys want to do that one, and he takes a shot every time it goes to ching. Of course, if it's not going to go to ching, then it would be no point. But every time he makes a sale,
I'm gonna delist anything under $20.
listen at him, folks. He's going to
I don't know. Buy the $2 cards. Yeah, let's do it.
buy the $2 cards. I might just take $100 out of my account and sit there and buy them $2 baseball cards.
I'll take $1.50. That way you save you some money.
Anyway, folks, we're glad that you're here. Those of you who have picked us as your number one, thank you. Those of us who are in your not top 10, awesome. You guys have made my
Anybody who just randomly listens,
yeah,
thank you.
yeah, thank you.
So,
Make my day because I cannot believe that anybody would want to sit and listen to me ramble. uh,
all right. Thank you guys. Have a good week. We'll talk to you later.